What is up, everyone? It is I, Abby Brooke, none other. And, I left John, Meltin John, that is, a text message, I think, not yesterday evening, but the evening before yesterday. And, I told him, let's just stop. I'm not stalking you anymore. I haven't watched it. Not even 48 hours. And I hadn't said a fucking word to him. I hadn't made a video about him. I hadn't done any of that. So, I don't even mention him unless he's brought up to me now. Which it used to be, and, the other way around. I would make videos to him and bring him up and come to him, right? But no, that's not the case anymore. In fact, the farther I try to run, the more he tries to find me. But it's not because he likes me. It's not because he is interested in me. It's not because he wants to date me. So get that out of your head, people. It's because he has a sick, controlling obsession where he doesn't want to see me with anybody else because he wants me to be just as miserable as he is. That, and I know the real him. He is fucking... You're a girl on the inside, John. You're a girl. You're a little Libra princess. And you need to be made love to in the way a woman can make love to you. Whether you... And I even wished you that, I told you that. I was like, you know what? Whether you end up with a woman, whether you end up with a man. As far as, being bisexual and your sexuality. Whichever one you end up with, you need to be upfront and honest with them from the beginning. And they need to make love to you like a passionate woman. Because that's what you are on the inside, little one. You're a baby girl. You're a little Libra princess. That's what you are. And let me tell you, since you want to be a woman so fucking bad, let me tell you a little bit about what it's actually like. And I'll do that here in just a second. And I'm going to also address the lies. This is why I'm running from you too. This is why more and more of my streams are not going to be about you, because you're turning into Anderson with your lies. Anderson will come on here and just say something just to hear himself say it. He himself, I'm sure that over the past decade, you, Meltin, with your impeccable memory, well, not always since you sniffed duster, but it's still pretty good memory. You would, probably at least one time in the 10 years you've watched me and Anderson, you would have at least heard him say, at least once out of those 10 years, I know you have, that he often says things, on film especially, just to hear himself say it. He's a liar. So that's, part of the reason why I stopped having he didn't incite any passion out of me anymore. But you used to tell the truth. You don't anymore. You kind of do, but you're starting to, now that you're a self-admitted drama queen, you're starting to really just, say things for shock value regardless of whether or not it's true. And because you're a man, people believe it. It's as simple as that. Let me see who's in the chat before I go in here. What's up? Hi, Alpha Wolf. Hi, Noodles. I'm not blocking anybody right now. I'll be right back. It's fucking windy. windy as all fuck. I love it. It's not too cold, but it's very windy outside. Oh my gosh. Favorite kind of weather right there. It almost puts me in the mind of fall weather. Yeah, I got to take some Tylenol, and then I got a drink. I can't remember if I already took it or not. I'm so fucking tired. But yeah, let me continue what I was saying. And let me get you guys over here with me. So that way we can be together. Oh my gosh, what's up, Fourscore? How are you this morning, darling? And Sean, great to see you as well. So, I want to continue where I left off. Where did I leave off? Hey, JK NoCal, what's up? He's saying hey to Sean. Fuck me, I guess. I'm just kidding. Me and JK NoCal are cool. So, like I say, I'll recap for those of you that just got in here. So, I texted Meltin, like, not last night, but the night before. And I told him, look, I'm not stalking you anymore. You know, I mean, I'm not. Like, I don't follow him around. I don't look for him in panels. I don't respond to his comments. I haven't even been watching his streams, guys. And I told him, you know, I don't want to fight or argue with you anymore. I'm not obsessed with you anymore. Like, it's more, now it's me responding to him because he won't stop. And it's not because he likes me or he cares about me or he loves me or he has any type of, like, fatal attraction or anything like that, guys. It's because he has this weird obsession now where he doesn't want me to be with anybody else, even though he doesn't want me. He doesn't want me to be with anybody else. And like I was telling you guys earlier, the reason Anderson stopped inciting any passion in me is because he lies a lot. You know, I've known him for 10 years. John has watched us sit and fight for, 10 years. And not fight, but, he's watched our video battles. Chad and I, or Anderson Henderson and I, or whatever you want to call him, has a feature film on Vimeo called Chad the Legend, starring Abby Brooke, that has some of our old stuff. But out of the 10 years, with John, you used to have an impeccable memory. I think the air duster, and I'm not saying this to be, like, malicious or take a jab at him, but I truly do think that the air duster is to blame for his memory going as bad as it has. It's still really good. But neither here nor there, I know that in the past decade that, Meltin, you have heard Anderson say at least once out of his own mouth, because he's said it a bunch of times, that he says things just to hear himself say things. So, because of that, I stopped, giving him the time of day. I have Streamlabs Alpha Wolf. What's up, Quinny? Hey, Quinny! Mwah. Noodles, I'm not at a computer right now. Anyway, I can't unblock when I'm not at a computer. I'm out town. We're out town right now. So you guys know that I don't have a way to do that. I use Streamlabs, not StreamYards. I don't do panels, or I can't do panels on this, with this app. And, yeah, anyway, so that's for me catching you guys up. And plus, Anderson's always been more of like a big brother to me. We've always had more of that relationship. Now, Meltin John in the past, he says that I'm not. What does he do? After I make a fucking video, or after I text him telling him, stop, let's not talk about each other, let's leave each other alone, he knows I'm not watching his fucking streams because, I'm not. So he makes a video instead. He knows I'll be more tempted to watch a short video, I guess. And the thing about John is that he is a little girl inside. He is a grown-ass woman in a man's body. And I was saying earlier, whether he finds a woman, whether he finds a man to settle down with, or just a date, he needs to be made love to in the way that only a woman could do it. You know what I mean? That is who he is on the inside. And he has that duality in his personality as well. He has that duality. Like, he can just flip a switch and be a really dominant man, too. But at the end of the day, I think there's this big part of him, in fact, I know there is, that wants to come out as a woman, right? But now that he's getting to be more like Anderson, where he is such a self-admitted drama queen that he wants to tell tall tales, it's driving me away. And I already told him, hey, I'm not stalking you anymore. Leave me alone. Now, instead of me making videos to him, pursuing him, if I see him commenting on a video, I'll have to comment. Now, instead of that happening, the tables have turned and he's doing it to me. Now I don't have to make videos about him. He makes it about me. And I was, like I said, I was on Dave's last night. I don't watch Dave nearly as long as Meltin has. Now, I'm not going to accuse Meltin of following me around like he does me, just because we happen to see each other in the same channel. But I went on Dave's last night, saw a video he uploaded. I just recently started watching him, you know. I don't catch up on his streams or anything if I miss them, but I might pop in for a few and say hi or something like that. Depending on the topic of conversation, will determine whether or not I stay. But he had a video up, of which I commented on, and not even 30 minutes later, there's Meltin John right behind me, commenting about me on the same video. A video that had nothing to do with him, and I left a comment that had nothing to do with him. And then, you know, the whole G Mango situation, I'm going to address real quick one more time. There was not even a need for Mangoes to make a fucking stream about me. Because in my stream to him, if you watch the entire stream that's still up on my page, Quinny set me straight. She helped me understand the, you know, when I said, you know, why aren't you spending more time with your wife and kids and all that, Mangoes himself came in several times, and I apologized to him, and he accepted he accepted the apology, or no, he didn't, but he heard me say it. He was acting like we were all cool, and, you know, I told him, you know, why I was upset with him agreeing with Meltin about the horrible things that he was saying about me in a stream. Just randomly, again, a stream that he was, you know, Meltin was doing the day before that, talking shit about me that I wasn't even in. You know, I did catch up on that one because it was under an hour. And I was shocked because Mango and I have always been cool. We've never been that close. But, you know, just 2 days prior, Mangoes was in my room being very nice to me, very cordial. He even got a wrench, and I don't give those out freely. So, you know, it hurt me, and I explained to him why. I tried to go over to him, and, you know, I didn't do his panel because someone asked me not to, and because I, you know, couldn't get on it. And then he even took a jab at me and Meltin by saying, oh, that's funny, you know, Meltin says the same thing, that he can't get on my panel. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't even know what Zoom is. First of all, you're the first person on here I've ever met that uses Zoom. Whatever type of, I don't know what type of streaming service that is. It's neither here nor there. But I kept getting an error. I have no reason to lie. I've been here 10 years. I don't know why John is saying, like, oh, Abby claims to be an OG, when he's watched and known of me being on this website for 10 years. He's like, oh, there was 2,000 people in that panel. That doesn't mean shit to me, dude. I used to be in videos with my husband that would get over 1 million views. Hundreds of thousands of views, if not over 1 million. So I know what it's like to be watched by way more people than that. You know what I mean? And he just, you know, I guess he's just after E-fame. And I just, like I said before, I just have to laugh at that. Because I'm not after that. I'm after cash. Not you guys' petty cash. But like making my own dough. And this is a hobby and an addiction in a way as well. But I don't have a problem with Dave. And I don't have a problem, you know, with being on a big panel. And I hold my own. And I held my own very well. So the fact that he, being Meltin, keeps saying that if I can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, I wouldn't keep coming back to the fucking kitchen if I couldn't withstand the heat. Alpha Wolf was being very nice to me the other day. He asked me out. I told him I wasn't interested. And look at what he's doing, ladies. He's being a total asshole. He told me, because I said that I had a thing for Hispanics. And he's like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican. And I said, okay, or Puerto Rican, or however you pronounce it. And, you know, I'm from the deep south. Give me some credit. And I told him, you know, that's cool and all. But he kept hitting on me, Quinny. And I said, you know, I'm not interested. No, thank you. But I'm flattered. That's great and all. I appreciate your support. And now he's being very rude to me because I won't flirt with him. Okay? He sees me in here talking to people like 4, you know, and giving him more attention. And he's, you know, I guess jealous of that. Because I have not done a damn thing to you, bud. And this stream is not about you. So if you don't like what I'm saying, or if you don't like me, you can bounce your ass right out of here. Alright? Alright, great. We got the picture now, I think. Anyway. Oh, sorry. It's fucking windy out here today, guys. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, look at this tree. There's no fucking leaves on here at all. Look how hard they're, blowing in the wind there. Yeah. Because he's saying that, Quinny. He's saying I'm a waste of ass and all that because I won't flirt with him. I'm not interested in him. Exactly, Quinny. He was nice. Quinny says you were nice to her the other day, Alpha. Come on, dude. Let's just all be nice. Yep, and I was nice to him back, Quinny, was I not? I just wasn't flirting with him. So anyway, I want to address Meltin's allegations. And the reason I mentioned this tall tale lies and stuff like that. Now, not all of what he says is a lie. But, 4 honey. Anyway, Meltin has said things like, he says I can't keep a secret. That, oh, if you tell Abby anything, you know, she'll run and tell it. It took me, hello, Annie Mae. It took me 10 years to release some of the worst fat videos I have on Anderson Henderson. After he had released every single secret and picture that I have ever shown him. It took me 10 years. And no, I did not go to Meltin pleading with him to say, oh, let me give you these videos and get back in your good graces and I'll do anything you want to Anderson Henderson. I hate his guts too. That's not how it went down. I did make a video kind of pouring my heart out to him. That part was correct. I have no reason to fucking lie. There's proof in the pudding. I can put all these videos back up and you guys can watch them. I can link you to them. You can see for yourself. But he said, fine, I'll give you my email. I said, all right. We started emailing. He would not directly say it, but he wanted those videos out. I said, why can't... I said, look at how well me and you are getting along. Me and you are getting along very well. Me and you were talking about different places to move. I don't want to stay in CDA forever now that I'm, you know, experiencing winter up here with being on dialysis. This is my first year. You know, we would talk about that. We would email about, you know, just different things. And I said, you know, he started to get pretty upset, and he wouldn't directly tell me why. And I told him straight out, I said, this go around, if me and you have an issue, just tell me what your issue is so I can fix it. Communicate with me and be open and honest, and me and you can work it out, because now that we're friends again, I don't want to lose the friendship. I worked hard to get it back. And this is after I had rejected him 9 months ago, and he, you know, I had my little obsession, and it, you know, became a lot too much. And, you know, I was beginning to tone down a bit, and I just wanted to be his friend again, because I have known of him a very long time. So, he wouldn't directly say that he wanted those videos of Anderson. Not only did he want them, but he wanted me to drop them. I said, oh, you know, and I kept saying, I don't really want to do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And I asked him, why do I have to do that for me to be in your good graces? And he went silent. So that's when I made a video pouring my heart out to him, saying, what did I do wrong? You promised to communicate, you stopped. And this wasn't him stopping for a day or 2 days or 3 days. This was him stopping for a while, if I recall. So then he came in to a live stream I was doing where I said, you know why he treats me like shit compared to everybody else? And he gives them second, third, fourth, fifth chances, but says he won't even give me a second one? It's because he still has feelings for me. And he came in, he was lurking. He came in, he denied that up and down. And he also said, I said, then tell me why me and you were having a great time in your emails. We were being friends again. We were being cordial. And you stopped. And he said, because you chose Anderson over me again. Even when Meltin was interested in actually dating me and I wasn't interested in him, Anderson Henderson was a problem. I would have had to give Anderson up for him, which at the time I wasn't willing to do, and I didn't know him, and he wouldn't give me the chance to get to know him, you know. So it was like his way or the highway. And no, he did give me the chance. He did. I wasn't interested, and when I became interested, it was too late. And I'm fine with that, you know. But that's what really went down. Quinny, what's Quinny saying? Oh, what's up? Yeah, Fupa is my #1 baby girl, original OG baby girl for me. Yes, between her and Hazel and Miss Quinny and a couple others, like, And Hazel's my best friend on here, female friend. You would do me, Alpha? Yeah, you seem to be switching up on that. I'm not. What's up, Goose? Every time Goose comes in my room, I say his name like that. It cracks me up. He's been one of my originals, too. He's had a wrench in my room for a long time. No, anyway, guys, that's what actually went down. So he came in that stream that night, and he said, you know, you choose Anderson Henderson over me. He couldn't stand that. And at this time, me and Anderson were really starting to fall out, because he had found Carrie, and he was self-admittedly only using her in the beginning to get at me, and then he fell in love with her, which is cool. But he was pressuring me really hard, Anderson was at the time, to meet him. He's like, do you know what a privilege it is for me to offer my spare bedroom to someone? I've never, ever done that. I would never, ever do that. You'd have to be a really special person, and you won't come here. And, you know, he started wanting something that I wanted 5-6 years ago that he didn't want at the time. And I understand, and I told him, you know, you want something now that I wanted 5-6 years ago. You didn't want it at the time. Now I'm on dialysis. It would take me months to even, you know, arrange a trip there, because it takes months to get in a clinic and all that. You know, you can't just go to the hospital like people think. No, you have to arrange a clinic in the area you want to visit, and they have to open a spot for you. So, you know, I told him all this, and I said, just slow down, you know, and we can make this work, and I can do that possibly, but I'm not going to jump on your command, because for one, I can't. That's thousands of dollars, You know, it's like taking a trip to North Carolina, but I'd have to, you know, his room is unfurnished. I'd have to furnish it. I might as well just rent a hotel, which I don't feel safe doing because I won't know where I'm at. You know, I would want to have him near me. So I'd have to buy furniture for the room. I'd have to rent a car. I'd have to, you know, there's all those extra expenses. And I was like, why don't you work on getting your place fully furnished first? And, you know, I'll work on, you know, getting my insurance and all that shit ready. And we can go from there. Well, he said fine, but me and him, he would keep pressuring me about it every day. So me and him fell off after that. I was like, you know what? No. I'm not meeting you. I'm not meeting you. And I don't want to talk about Anderson anymore. That's all I have to say about that. And it, you know, that's what it is. So since Meltin wants to be a girl so bad, I'm going to tell you, Meltin, what it's like to be a woman. Okay? What it's really like. For a woman like me, okay? For young, good-looking women like me who, I know I don't cam up, not on here anyway, but I do on Facebook. Sometimes on Facebook I do lives. But, you know, as a woman who's young and fertile, you ovulate. And sometimes, if you're like me, you ovulate more than once a month. I even buy these little kits, right? You can buy these kits. They're expensive, but they're worth it. They tell you when you're ovulating. This is why I'm voluntarily celibate, okay? Because I woke up this morning and I was showing signs like yesterday that I was getting ready to ovulate, right? I was getting really horny and I was, you know, not TMI here, folks, so you might want to tune this out this next couple minutes if you're, you know, don't want to hear about this kind of stuff. But this is what it's truly like. But, you know, no amount of masturbating, and I don't insert things inside of me, but no amount of masturbating is going to scratch that itch. Like, when I am ovulating, I want to have a man's seed inside of me. And it can't just be any man. It has to be a man I love. It has to be, you know, because it could result in pregnancy. I'm not on birth control. I never have been. I don't really ever plan on being. And I don't want to just go get laid. But it literally feels like, because I easily could. But because I'm not like that, it literally feels like I'm walking around for 24 to 48 hours, sometimes multiple times, usually only 2 a month. It happens once a month, guaranteed. Sometimes 2. So the days leading up to it, I'm extremely horny. And then during the ovulation, and I lay the egg, it's like I'm in fucking heat. And I really keep myself out of any situations where I could actually accidentally end up, you know, having sex with someone. And I've done this for years, and it sucks. And it literally feels like you're in heat. And imagine, guys, if you were jerking your cock off and you could not get any relief no matter how much you came, because all you craved was to put it inside a woman and shoot that load in her. And you are not a sleazeball of a man, and you want to be with a woman that you love, you want to save that kind of stuff for her, but you don't have that kind of woman in your life, nor are you actively seeking it in real life. But you're a good-looking man, you know, it'd be easy for you to just go to a bar and get laid. Well, you know, you don't want to, you know, put a condom on because you want, nothing will satisfy this urge unless you just shoot your load in the woman. Like, that is the only thing that will satisfy that itch. It's like an internal, innate desire. I don't know how to explain it, but you straight men out there should get it. So, if you want to be a woman, if you had a reproductive system like a woman's, that's what some of the shit that you'd have to endure. Because for a woman, guess what? We're not called studs if we sleep around. We're called whores. Alright? And you got to worry about STDs, and you got to worry about all kinds of other things, because men can carry STDs that do not affect them. They can be carriers of them for years, and then they give them to women, and they affect the woman right away. And The man doesn't even know he has it. So, plus men don't have to be as emotionally invested as a woman does. I don't care for Anderson at all either, my lovely Quinny. It's funny, he thinks he set me up the other night with that I see dead people. I actually set him up because I fucking texted him during the he took another jab at my health, so I texted him during that stream just one time, shocked the fuck out of him, I bet. And I said, "You seeing dead people now, fucker?" or something like that. I didn't text him again after that, but it was funny. But yeah, so to address Melton's video, right? Who's he begging? What are you trying to say, Quinny? No, Quinny. If only these men understood, right? Anyway, so to address Melton, as far as him saying other things, look, Quinny, this is the truth. This is my channel. I'm uncensored. I have no shame, and this is what it's like. This is what I'm going through right now. And if I can't have the man I want because he's, whatever, because of circumstances that are outside of both our control, the only other one that I sadly hate to say incites any passion out of me is Melton. And he doesn't scratch that itch, no, not at all. But he is the closest thing to it. And arguing with him during these times help some just to get that fucking rage out of me, because I can't do it in real life. I can't scratch that itch in real life, or I'll end up knocked up by some loser I don't even know. And I didn't start this fucking war. I wouldn't have picked a fight with John today had he not made a video about me last night talking pure shit. I'm just defending myself against this cocksucker, because I've already debunked 2 lies. One with the whole, Abby will tell anything. Well, if that was the case, I would have been told a lot of shit on a current young man that I just met, who's pissed me off to no end, and made up and pissed me off, and made up and pissed me off. But I haven't done that. And again, it took me 10 years to release anything on Anderson, and we both know, Melton, how Anderson has been before he was medicated. You've watched it. Now, he said that I said I have a crush on G Mangoes. I may have said that. I can't remember. John does have a better memory than me with stuff, with things like that I say. So I probably did say it. I am a flirt. Did I mean it? No. No. I don't think I've ever had a crush on Melton, or G Mangoes, because after I found out he was married, I tell you, I respect relationships, people. Okay? And if I did say I have a crush on him, it must have been before I realized he was married. And if I did say that I have a crush on him, it was the wrong verbiage. I should have said I thought he was good looking, because he's a good looking man. But no, I'm not interested in him. He's married. And, But, I found it funny that John had to go over after he saw that I was trying to get into Mango's panel, Quinny, and I couldn't. And he saw that Mango's told me he was going to send me an email because he doesn't give his link out in his chat, which is totally understandable. And I guess old Melton got jealous and thought that that meant I was privately... In fact, I know that Melton got jealous and thought and assumed that that meant I was privately messaging G Mangoes about anything. I haven't messaged G Mangoes at all. I haven't responded. I mean, I clicked on his link. I posted it in my browser. I couldn't get it to come up to go on his panel. And to be quite frank, if I were to go on his panel, I was just going to reiterate what I said in my stream, just in a quick, summed up way. That's all I was going to do. So, I haven't talked to Mangoes at all. I don't email or anything a lot, or do any of that a whole lot outside. I mean, YouTube is my platform. This is where I talk. and that's just the way it is. But boy, Melton had to jump in, and he had to go and whisper things into G Mango's ears. And you know how G Mango's it seems to be a peacekeeper, right, Quinny? From what you're telling me, I can say all you said about it is correct. We kind of go nuts for a few days a month. Yes, Quinny, you as a grown woman know what I'm talking about when you got that itch you can't scratch and it drives you fucking insane. So you take it out in rage, and you're not going to just, for me, I don't just take it out in rage on any man. It's got to be a man that incites a little bit of passion. Fuck. And even though Melton is a little Libra princess on the inside, he can flick a switch and be a man. And he still has the goods to get the job done. And you know, I don't think about it, but I'm pissed and taking my rage out on him. And which really, I'm just defending myself at this point. Is, you know, it helps. Let's just say that. It helps to tame that itch a little bit. And Quinny, you know what I'm talking about. And to you gentlemen, I described it the best way I could for both my point of view and for yours. Now, moving on. Yeah, he had to go and whisper sweet nothings into G Mango's ear, and God knows the type of shit they both talked about me. I hope to God, you know, that G Mango's didn't talk shit about me and didn't believe any lies that Melton may have told him that I said about him, because I haven't talked to you know, Mango's. I haven't talked to John about Mango's at all, other than what I already told him, which was one time when we were on the phone during one of our long-ass conversations, he seemed to bring him up and was showing me his Facebook and giving me his name and looking at the car dealerships and trying to find out where he worked and couldn't find any reviews. And I said, and what is your point, babe? I didn't call him babe, but I was like, what is your point, dear? And he was like, I may have called him babe, I don't remember. And he was like, well, I don't think he works there. I don't think he works there. You know, there's if you research liars at all, you guys know me, you've watched me enough to know that I'm extremely detail-oriented at all times. It's been a blessing and a curse. It takes me longer to do things, but I'm thorough with them and I do them correctly. But I've been extremely detail-oriented with everything in my life since I was a teenager. Melton came on last night and had to, the more detailed I'm noticing he is with a story, the more it's a lie. You know, the more it's a lie. I'm noticing little things about him and discerning his behavior every day that I watch. He basically sat on there and said, you know, he tried to save face. He said something to the effect, don't quote me verbatim, you can go watch that video again of him in a fucking pink shirt, where he's like, oh, you know, I was only saying that to her regarding not knowing whether or not you were, not believing whether or not you worked at an actual car dealership because of this and that and my family. And you notice he had to bring up things that didn't have fuck all to do with what he was talking about, such as he owned a Jeep one time. Pretty sure as a car salesman, I never doubted G Mango's position. I never doubted what he was. I just said to him on the phone, maybe you're right, maybe you're not. But if the man says he's a car salesman, why the fuck would he have a reason to lie? And why do you care? You know, I said that to him. You know, why do we care? That's not relevant. So what? But, you know, me and him had a hard time because I didn't want to upset him. But I was enjoying our conversations. All he would want to do is talk about certain YouTubers. And all I knew how to do to keep the conversation going was to continue it by talking about YouTubers I know. And it wasn't all bad. We weren't just talking trash the whole time. No, we weren't. But I really wanted to take the conversation a step further other than talking about places to move or YouTube, and he just didn't give me the chance to do that. One, I could tell he didn't feel comfortable. I needed to get him warmed up more, and the only way for me to have done that would have been to continue talking to him, and I was very nice to him. Him and I did not fight on the phone at all. He's a people pleaser. He's very impressionable. I've tried to look out for him because here's what I'm going to address next. My sock accounts. First off, I don't use them a whole lot anymore because I can't make them on my phone anymore. If I can't make them on my phone anymore, I can only switch between the ones I have. I'm not going to get on my computer. I haven't even tried to get on my computer and attempt to make a new one because you know what? Then that requires me to remember an email and a password and all that, which I'm not going to waste my time doing. I have enough sock accounts, and I have made it very clear from all of you, fourscore, if you're still here, you know, you'll definitely remember me saying this, that I have never, not once, tried to hide who I was under a sock account. When I get blocked out of a room, or when a mod blocks me and the host doesn't like it and the host wants to talk to me, which has happened to me a few times, I would make accounts and I would come back as myself, or I would let you know, this is me. I'm back. You're not going to get rid of me by blocking me. You might as well stop. And I would come in under 20, 30 accounts sometimes. I think I have even 40 now. But I don't use them. I rarely use them because now, no, Carrie, you're not blocked. You weren't blocked. You haven't been blocked on this channel in a long time. But anyway, I don't switch between those anymore because now, John, now that I've been so transparent with my sock accounts, I never tried to hide who they were. I've said from the get-go that if I wanted to come to you under a sock, you're going to know it's me, and I'm not going to deny it. But now that I'm encountering other communities, and I've made my socks very transparent, and I've made it easy to spot, who I am in a sock account, people are cloning me, especially people from, the community that, DM come from. So, that was a big mistake on my end. I didn't realize I would I would have this many people watching me. I never really wanted that. I never wanted the attention of that. John knows this. Not because I fear being exposed or anything, but because, I just wanted to stay in my corner and talk about what I wanted to talk about. Because I'm not a self-admitted drama queen like you are, little Libra princess. Anyway, that being said, I did make a mistake by always being so transparent when I came to you, John, under my socks. Because now I got people cloning me. Now I got people pretending to be me. Now my typing style is easy to clone. So now I don't even really, I don't, maybe once in a blue moon will I go under, hello, Jackie, how are you? Thank you, Carrie. This is Coeur d'Alene Lake. And right over there's the resort. We're near downtown. I've parked here before, just at night. But yeah, I made a fatal mistake in doing that because now I have people that can easily clone me, and John is so gullible and impressionable, he believes it. So, I'm going to say this again, guys, unless it's one of my recognizable fucking accounts that I'm not going to say the name of, that those of you who have seen it, that I've self-admitted is me, unless it's one of those accounts, or unless it comes directly from this account, it isn't me. Alright, Quinny. No problem. Thank you, Miss Carrie. I appreciate it. Let's see. What else you guys are saying? Okay. Yeah. But, alright. So, is there anything else he said in that I wanted to tell you guys about? I don't think so. Other than the shirt, he's just trying to make me jealous, which, he's even saying to people like Witty Widow, he's hitting on Witty hard, even though I went on Witty's panel and she's like, I'm not interested in him at all. I don't give a fuck if she is. But I find it funny, you know, he's obviously not interested in me. He hates me, but he doesn't want me to be with anybody else. He has that weird, creepy obsession about me being with somebody else. Now the tables have turned. Now I'm not making videos about him unless he makes them about me first to defend myself. Now, if he sees me in a chat room, he's fucking commenting, or video like yesterday when I was, you know, commenting on Dave's video. I didn't say a damn thing pertaining to Meltin. 30 minutes after I commented, there's Meltin talking about me. You know, the tables have fucking turned. And Carrie, I'll catch you up here a little bit. 2 nights ago, I told him, look, I'm not obsessed with you anymore. I don't want to talk about you. I don't want to, let's just stop. And he's all like, oh, we had 2,000 people in the room. Well, Carrie, I used to be in videos with my husband back in the day where we would get millions of views, or over 1 million views on one video, hundreds of thousands on multiple others. It's not, I held my own very well in that panel, especially for it to be my first panel. I don't give a fuck, you know? But yeah, he did some dirty shit, and if he continues to lie and stuff like that, and not be honest, like, I've debunked what was honest, and I've debunked what was a lie. And I told you guys very shortly and very sweetly exactly what the deal was. And what I said can be proved. I still got all the videos. I'm pretty sure they're just on private. So I don't really want to have to go back and look for those and figure out where he said what. And I'm not going to expose his emails or anything like that. You know, or, you know, dox him again or anything like that. But it's just ridiculous at this point. Every time I try to leave him alone, he comes for me. He finds a reason to come for me. And then when I, defend myself, all of a sudden he's the victim. Because he's like a woman on the inside. He really is. And like I'd say, I'm going to say it again. Whether or not, I told him, I'm like, you need to end up with whoever you end up with, John, whether it be a male or female, you need to have them make love to you the way a woman wants to be made love to, because you on the inside are a woman. And he can flick a switch and turn himself into that dominant man, but most of the time, he is that sweet woman. No, I think I did good. Yeah, I was getting props for it, Carrie. I was getting props for it. Thank you, Jackie. It's called hovering. They always play. Yeah, Carrie, I fucking texted him 2 nights ago. Said, listen, I'm not obsessed with you anymore. I haven't been watching your streams. Can we not discuss each other anymore? I'm not following you around. And I'm not going to accuse him of following me, because he was obviously, I'm never going to accuse him of that, because we're just bound to watch some of the same people. Okay, but when he's coming in videos that I've watched now, Carrie, and sees that I'm commenting and the video has nothing to do with him, and the comments I'm making has nothing to do with him, and he is mentioning me in them, that's ridiculous. That's him doing what he asked me not to do, and then when I stop doing it, there's a prime example of how he starts his shit back up. And then he had to make a reference, Carrie. Did you notice he was talking about somebody named Addie? It sounds like he was saying A-D, D as in dog, Y. Addie. He was talking about Addie and somebody being in love or dating. Don't quote me verbatim, because I don't remember this part. But you can go back and watch the video of him. It's this first one he made yesterday in the pink shirt. It was a short video. He was talking about somebody being in love with an Addie, but he was technically dating this person, Addie, and somebody was, and that person turned out to be crazy, and the guy didn't care because he was jealous of her in the way a woman would be jealous, because the man himself felt as though he was a woman. Did you catch any of that, Carrie? Reading between the lines is what I did on that. Like he was trying to tell the audience something that Well, a lot of his audience may not know that, but I already knew that about him, so there was no need for him to do that subliminal messaging type shit. And he knows I like that. He knows that turns me on, so he was trying to do it to rope me back in. I don't think he did it intentionally, but in the back of his mind, I know he knows me remembering, like, me telling him I like the subliminal stuff, especially if it's aimed at me. I don't know what this person's doing, but they're behind my car. And they are... Oh, he's just parked. Okay, I think he's just parked. I thought he was, like, rolling his windows down to try to get my attention, but I'm like, you're not a cop. I'm not giving you my attention. Yeah, rewatch that, Carrie, and let me know what you think, if you don't mind. Yeah, he has a sweet, childlike... I don't have to lock my door. I'll shoot his fucking ass. But I'll lock it just in case. I don't want to have to shoot nobody if I don't have to. But yeah, I'll lock it. Anyway. But yeah, self-defend. Because I have a registered gun on my hip. No, I shouldn't show you guys my gun. Anyway, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. It was very strange. No, Carrie, I wouldn't, but, like, if a random man came up to me and I thought he was trying, it's better to lock the door because I don't want to shoot nobody if I don't have to. I was joking. I mean, I would if they were trying to threaten my life, but I wouldn't give him the chance. I'd drive off before I'd, shoot him. I was halfway fucking around. Carrie, I knew that'd get a rise out of you, darling. Anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. It scratched my itch a little bit. I'm still gonna be out for fucking blood if he comes back on and tries to rebuttal any of this. Because he knows that he can't. Because he knows what I'm saying is the truth. Oh, just like, and why I was mentioning Anderson earlier and why I stopped with the whole, he'll say things. I know that Meltin has heard him say at least once in the past 10 years he's watched us. I know, Carrie, you've probably even heard him say this on film at one point or another. He said 100 times on film, I'll say things just to hear myself say it. Well, I don't like liars. I mean, I understand saying some things sometimes for shock value, but when every little thing is a lie, it doesn't become fun anymore. And I was mentioning that because, like, Melton's starting to kind of become like that, and it's a big turnoff. Like, when he said, oh, Abby told me on the phone that she likes rap music because she wants to see African Americans kill each other. No, I did not tell him that. I swear on my mother's life, I did not tell him that. I told him, he asked me, why would somebody like you from the Deep South like rap music or hip-hop or any African-American artist? And I told him my father introduced me to it when I was a young child. And he was shocked. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, my dad liked that kind of music. And, he taught me how to drive when I was like 11. We were driving up and down the dirt roads in his truck, and we would listen to hip hop. These are memories I have of my father. He knows this. I didn't tell him all that, but I did tell him my father introduced me to it. So for him to keep coming on here and saying that, it's ridiculous. That's the kind of shit that really turns me off. And he came on again, he knows I don't like that frizzed up hair of his. No, but Carrie, I had already addressed everything with Mangoes. I had already addressed with him in my stream. You can go back and watch it, but you'd have to watch the whole thing. And he was even in there. I apologized to him. And because Melton heard him say that, I'm going to give you an email to the link to my panel to try to come up. I tried to get on his panel. I couldn't. I kept getting an error saying my internet wasn't sufficient or wasn't working, even though I have no problem streaming myself or playing my PlayStation and my phone and my computer at the same time. So I don't know. And he uses something called Zoom. And I don't know. I've never even heard of that. So I don't know what the problem was. And then Mango said, oh, that's strange. Melton can't seem to ever get on either. And then, so I guess Melton thought that meant I was talking to Mangoes in private, which I wasn't. I hadn't emailed Mangoes in private at all, other than to try to get on his panel that night. But when I left Mangoes, me and him were cool. So I don't know what kind of shit Melton John got on and wanted to whisper in Mango's ear to try to turn him against me, but I'm sure he told him a lot of lies. I have no doubt. Because at this point, Melton is acting almost obsessed with me by going around trying to talk to anybody that he thinks that I may be cool with and turning them against me. So, that, and I think he gets jealous when I talk to other men, and it's not out of love or out of him wanting me. It is out of the fact that he has some weird, creepy fixation with not wanting me to be with anybody else. He expects total loyalty, and he doesn't get that I've given him that. But I'm sick of being abused. I don't like the abuse anymore. The abuse is only going to get you so far with me. And you guys got to go back and watch this stream, because I tell a lot of truth in this stream, and I debunk that entire video. And I can't let the stream get any longer than it already has. It's almost 60 minutes long. But Jackie says he isn't worth... Jackie says he isn't worth the rug you walk on. Same for the other one. Agreed, Jackie. Please, he isn't worth G talking to. Well, that's G's opinion. I don't know why G talks to him. I don't know. But you notice too, Carrie, I wanted to ask you about this, because Carrie's real good. She studies psyche and all that. She studied that for a long time. Carrie, I'm extremely detail-oriented in all my videos. This is why, I've said this earlier too. In every aspect of my life, I have always been an extremely detailed-oriented person. It takes me longer to get things done, but it gets done correctly. And that doesn't... that's the same goes when I tell a story or I'm, telling anything. You notice whenever Melton, I go over this in this stream. You'll have to go back and watch it. But he tries to save face for the reason as to why he was talking so much about G Mangoes. And he brought him up on the phone, not me. He tried to say he was so detailed. Melton ain't that detailed normally. He is not. But he had to go into the whole, oh, my family is in the car dealership business. And he could have just said that. That's why I was interested. But instead of that, he said, oh, he had to list specific relatives. And not only that, he had to start talking about cars he has owned in the past, which didn't have fuck all to do with what he was talking about. Yeah, he was lying. He knows that he talked shit about Mangoes on the phone with me, and he didn't do it because he was, interested in the car dealership business. No, that's not what the case was. And, I've proven that I can keep my fucking mouth shut. It took me 10 years to release 2 fat videos on Anderson when he's released everything he had on me over those 10 years. That's just one example that I gave earlier too, but I gotta go, guys. Thank you all for... You noticed that too, Carrie? Did you notice that? I thought you would. They want loyalty even if they leave us. LOL. They watch like hawks. Oh, Carrie, it's funny you mentioned they watch like hawks, because John keeps telling me over and over he's watching me like a hawk. I have no fucking clue why. For somebody that hates me so bad. Oh, because I want you exposed. Well, and for him not to call me an OG when he's been here watching me for 10 years, known of me for 10 years, known that I've been on this website for longer than 10 years. He's just watched me fight with Chad for 10 years. How is that not an OG? Whatever. But anyway, I'm going to go, guys. Thank you very much for coming. I'll talk to you all later. I appreciate it. And over and out.